let's look at a couple of different order types and see how they play out in the market. And specifically, we'll focus here on limit orders, stop orders, and market touched orders. Let's just take an example. Let's look at IBM stock over the period of a couple of months here. And let's see how different order types would play out. First, let's say we want a buy limit order in the market. In other words, we want to buy at a certain price or better, which here means a certain price or lower. Now let's say that we put a limit in at around 114. You can see at some point when the price goes below 114, we'll get execution in the market and a fill for our order. Now let's say we look at a sell limit. We want to lock in a particular profit. Say we put it at around 133. Now as you see here, IBM in that period never reached 133. So this sell limit order will never get executed because selling at 133 or better, meaning higher, is not a condition that's fulfilled ever during this period. Now let's look at the stop order. First, buy stop order. As you know, the stop orders are on the opposite side of the market compared to limit orders. And they are basically locking in certain levels that we don't want to miss out on. So a buy stop order, in this case of IBM, could have been around, let's say, 123. Right? It means that if the stock would go to 123, I'd be afraid that it gets a lot more expensive after that, and I want to get in before it gets too expensive, if it ever gets there. So a buy stop order would turn into a market order when the stop is triggered and the 123 is triggered, as you can see here, and we'll get an execution. Now, a sell stop order is then the exact opposite of the buy stop order. So it'll be below the market price. And essentially what it will protect us against is the possibility that the bottom will fall out from underneath the stock and we want to sell before it gets to that level. So a sell stop will be below the market and will look like this. And again, we put the stop at about 111, 111 and a half. The stop will sink, the market price will sink through that, and we'll get a market order generated at the moment that stop level gets triggered. Now let's look at the market if touched orders. A market if touched order essentially is similar to a limit order with one big exception. A limit order will never get filled at a worse level than whatever the limit is. Market if touched order will also become active when a limit is reached. However, when that limit is reached, the order will turn into a market order. So for instance here, a sell market if touched will be activated when the price goes through about 127. It'll become a market order. So even if we wouldn't get executed at 125 or above, say that little peak past 127 didn't give us a fill, there wasn't enough volume, we weren't at high enough priority, we will still get a fill, although it might be below the 127. Similarly, in reverse, a buy market if touched order does the same thing on the other side of the market price. It will get activated below the market price when the trigger point is reached. So again, it is similar to a limit order, with the difference that here we might get filled once it's triggered at a price price that could be worse. Could be better, but could be worse too. So here you have it. These are the three order types, the 6 combinations of order type and buy and sell, and how they play out in a specific market example.